Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today? This is a very exciting show of Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachman Network. Our show is sponsored by Abels and Hyman. We taste better. It's actually New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve. It's December 31st. I know that the show is Friday morning, but you're listening to on Friday morning. But I got together in the studio today with the CKCA team. So this show is dedicated to the CKCA hour. So I hope you're going to tune in and stay listening because we've got an incredible show today, an incredible lineup of great guests from the CKCA team. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time or know the routine already, I'm Naomi Nachman and I'm about all the food all the time. I'm a kosher personal chef. My business is called the Aussie Gourmet, and anytime you don't feel like cooking, you can give me a call or Deanie delivers. We'll talk about her in a little bit. I love cooking for people for Shabbos, Yom Tov, Pesach. It's about 90-something days away. I won't freak you out. And I share my kosher food traveling and where I eat at restaurants and anything food related, please. I'm going to share them with you. So share them right back with me. So you can email me at naomi@nachumsiegel.com. Thank you for the people that do email me and share your exciting experiences. You can join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. I think I got all four in. Yeah. My newsletter is, you can sign up for my newsletter on my website, theaussiegourmet.com, and I'll try to send you some interesting, fun recipes to get us through this cold winter. So, as I always say, if you eat it, share it. Just want to give a couple of shout outs. Last week we were live in Gourmet Glatt in Cedarhurst. We had such a good, fun time. Eitan Bernath, the 12-year-old competitor from Chopped, joined us. He was really not feeling well that day and he really pulled himself together, right, ZK? He was unreal. We made fresh churros. We had a chat with him as well as other great guests as well. Malky Hirsch and Nate Krimen and Jay Buxbaum was doing wines there. I hope I haven't left anyone out, but it was Seth Levitt, of course, from Abels and Hyman, and we said Jay from did a wine pairing with us. But it was so much fun. You can catch that show on our YouTube channel on the Nachman Network. It was always a lot of fun doing shows in the supermarket, especially the one I'm in probably every single day. How pathetic is that? But I love to go to the supermarket. So I always like to see what will inspire me from ingredients for dinner that night. Sometimes I plan in advance, but other times I just go to the supermarket, walk the aisles and feel what I'm going to make for dinner by seeing awesome and interesting new products. Big shout out to Stop, Chop and Roll. They saved my life this week. Had a really crazy day yesterday and I just couldn't get back in time for dinner, and I called the guys up from Stop, Chop and Roll in Cedarhurst if you need a quick dinner, and they'll deliver it to my very hungry children when I was not home. So a big shout out and thank you to Stop, Chop and Roll. And I was in Teaneck on Monday, had an amazing coffee at Lazy Bean. Absolutely fantastic coffee. I don't say, my listeners know that I don't love American coffee, but whatever I had there was amazing. So it was really good. And of course, don't forget to buy your tickets for KFWE, the Kosher Food and Wine Experience. 2015 is coming up in early February. Okay, wow, a lot of information going on there. So how's everybody doing? We've got a really full house here. I'm just going to give a quick rundown who I've got in the studio with me. Jesse's clearing his throat, ready for his big moment on Table for Two. Good morning. How are you? Jesse Blonder, he is the Executive Director, co-owner, Director
Correct, yes.
of CKCA, which stands for, you're going to give it out?
Yes.
Center.
The Center for Kosher Culinary Arts.
Okay, and we have next to him Chef Avram. Whoa!
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning. Thanks for having us here now.
Our pleasure. And then I've got two of the talented graduates from the school have gone on to great success, so we're going to hear from them in a little bit. Deanie Klein from Deanie Delivers, so I was very excited. And you got a little camera there, so you can. We're also filming this show too, so people can watch it online afterwards on the YouTube channel. And Mechi, I didn't catch your last name.
Kornfeld. That's Mechi Kornfeld.
Kornfeld. Cornfield, sorry.
Not a cornfield. It's
Cornfeld. There you go. He just got here right before the show started going, so I didn't catch his last name. But thank you, everyone, for coming in on a New Year's Eve. On New Year's Eve.
Erev
Erev New Year's Eve.
Erev New Year's Eve.
I took the train in and it was very quiet in Manhattan today in Midtown, and then I took the subway down to the Lower East Side. It was definitely very chilly, but very quiet. But I think on the way home, it's going to be really intense. So, all right, Jess.
Yeah.
How's it
Talk to
going?
me.
We know each other a long time since you started.
I think so. I think this is my third time in the studio. I did a show with Miriam on the network, and I did a show with you before.
Right, and you're also on our Kosher Fest show.
We was at Kosher Fest
that
live.
was a great show for us.
Live from Kosher Fest. That was great.
Yeah. So, how did you come into this? Where did you meet the guys? Who did you start this with? Did you start it by yourself?
7 years ago, I responded to an ad on, of all things, Craigslist.
Ah, yeah, the old infamous Craigslist. Yeah.
You can get furniture on Craigslist. You can find lots of things on Craigslist, but apparently you can find a career too.
Fantastic. Shout out to them.
Yeah. I was working as a chef, as a cook, and I was looking for a new gig, and I was responding to ads, and I saw something posted that said, Kosher Cooking School seeks director, something like that. And I said, oh, this is interesting. I'm Jewish. It's in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. Let's see what this is. So I responded to my now current partners, who are Elka and Baruch Pinson of Happy Home Housewares in Brooklyn.
Sure.
One thing led to another. We started doing classes. We went into business. We started the school. We started the professional training program. 7 years later, here we are.
Unreal.
It's amazing to think that if, a split-second decision, you can just say in 1 second, I'm not interested. And then your life is completely different.
Right.
And that was what happened with me.
On behalf of the kosher cooking community, we thank you for for answering that ad and becoming, who you are today and what you have started today. When you give someone a business and you teach them a trade, you're,
Yeah, well, it's
a godsend.
It's a lot of work. It's a labor of love. But when people come back to us and say, hey, I'm working, I'm doing something, this has changed my life, that makes it worthwhile.
It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. So how many graduates have you had pass through the school?
At this point, I believe the number is in and around 500.
Wow.
Between our two programs, culinary and pastry arts. So it's a
big
milestone
number.
for us.
It's a really big number.
Yeah.
It's a really big number. Now,
it's a nice number.
You do recreational classes as well. We've
yes,
spoken about public. That. I've taught one for you.
Yes.
Way back when.
We got a story.
We always talk about that.
Right.
But so you have your recreational classes, which is great for mums who want to kind of do something fun, or you have
dads,
or dads, of course, or kids, or whoever wants to just have an entertainment, learn a little bit, don't have the time because they're in their set careers, but they like cooking. They come, they take some classes, they go on date night there. I know a lot of people that have recently done it. People have come over to me. Someone just came over to me and they said they did date night for an anniversary. I'm like, oh, that's a great.
Date night is.
And they loved it.
Is our most successful thing we've ever done.
So tell our audience who don't know about it.
Well, date night is a class for couples. It's a cooking class for couples. We have two types. One is a competition based on the show Chopped, and one is a more instructional class where we teach them how to make a menu. And we take 7 couples. We do it on Motzei Shabbos, but we also do it as a private party option, and we do it during the week the rest of the year. And just to give you an example of how popular it is, this Saturday we have space for 7. It's sold out, and we have 9 couples on a waiting list.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
so
that's cool.
It's definitely one of our big hits.
That's it's a brilliant idea. Okay, so you've got your recreational. Let's talk about your professional baking and professional cooking classes.
Yes. Well, we have a program for each, baking and cooking. They're short-term, intensive-style programs. They're meant for people who have a passion for cooking, whether they want to take that passion and use it for their own personal enrichment, or if they want to make a living at it, like the students we have here today. Basically, it's a great program for anyone who wants to learn more about cooking or baking. And it takes about 3 months full-time.
Right.
It's not a tremendous commitment.
3 months every day?
It's Monday through Thursday, but we also offer part-time options, too.
Okay. I know you have something at night, twice a week.
We have a part-time option that runs a few times a year. That's 3 nights a week. We get a lot of people who are making the transition into a new career in that. Students, people who work, etc. But it's not a tremendous commitment of time or money, but it's a tremendous investment in yourself.
Right. It's a big step.
It is a big step.
To take it, whether you're changing careers or not, It
is. It's not to be taken lightly, but if you are looking to make a career in the kosher food business, we're a good place to start. We're an excellent place to start.
And are you accredited with any of the big, I don't know, is there an accreditation that you need, like a college that, college will say accredited with this or accredited with that? Do you have that in the...
We're a proprietary school, so it's a private trade school.
Okay.
In the food business, to be a chef, people ask a lot, when I graduate, am I a chef? Do I have a license to be a chef? There's no such thing as a license to be a chef. There's a lot of people call themselves chefs who probably are not chefs. The title chef, you go to school, you work. At some point after you assume a certain amount of responsibility and you've accomplished a certain amount, and I'm sure Chef Wiseman has more to say about what makes a chef a chef.
Yeah, I would like to hear that. I'm going to write that question down for him.
What makes a chef a chef? But the school is a jumping off platform, and the two things you want out of a school, obviously a good education, but you also want a network.
Right.
A group,
and let's talk about that. Let's talk about the network. What happens when you've done this course and you're now launching this kosher careers? What is the next step after, these young friends of ours, young chefs over here, they finish the courses. Either you can go into business for yourself. We know Honey Applebaum is busy in Brooklyn. She's gone on.
Right. And Deanie also has her own business today.
And Avi Roth has done Gotham Burgers.
Sure. And others too.
So, but if you're looking for a job, how does your networking?
Well, the first thing, when you finish the program, if you have no previous experience, you have the option to do an internship. You work somewhere for a short period of time to gain experience. And we have relationships with the best restaurants in the city, with caterers, with institutional settings like schools, camps. So basically, whatever you have in mind for yourself, we can place you somewhere where you can gain a little bit of experience. Sometimes that leads to a paid position. Other times it doesn't. But if you do an internship or not, the next step is try to find a job. And that's what Chef Wiseman, he works full-time for the school, and beyond teaching the classes, he spends his entire day on the phone, his cell phone.
What a shame.
And when I say his entire day, I don't mean
He's
just
so
while
talented.
he's at the office.
We're talking a 24-hour day.
24 hours on the phone, on Facebook, text
WhatsApp,
messages, WhatsApp, everything.
Every form of communication that I didn't even know existed till a couple of years ago.
It didn't exist till right?
With students. And what is he doing? We're basically making connections. You're looking for a job, you're hiring. Okay, we have these students looking for a job, we have these employers looking to hire, and he's just making connections. He's like the operator. He's connecting people in the food business. And that's what our goal is. We want to be the center of this network within the food business that connects employers, people who create, people who write about food, people like yourself, people like the students the graduates we have here. And recently we started something to formalize that.
Okay.
And that's koshercareers.com, which is a job board. It's a website for people who are looking, or people who are looking for jobs, or people who are looking to hire. So whatever the job is, it could be a chef's position, a cook's position, personal chef, could be in manufacturing, it could be in kashrus, it could be an office job that's for a food manufacturing company. If it has to do with food, kosher food, that's a place to go for it. And so it's a pet project of ours. We don't charge money for it, but it's really gets to the heart of what makes
you do.
The school tick.
Yeah. No, it's good because you want people to come and invest in the program besides the financial investment, the personal investment. And they want to know that could help them get somewhere. Like all schools.
Absolutely.
I know my husband, when he was in college, he had job placement.
Right.
So you've got to do that too.
But we do that to the extent of a lot of places I think say they do it. But Chef Wiseman, myself to a certain degree, we go out and we're looking for people. We're your eyes and ears, and it's a very personalized experience. We're a small school, small business, and we really give each student the
small and growing.
Small and growing. We have big aspirations, but for now, we really put the time in for our students on behalf of them.
Right, and you don't have to go to Johnson and Wales or ICE, I don't know how they...
Right, that's a great school.
They're great schools, they're amazing. And I cannot imagine making food I can't eat. It's already like sometimes with our own kosher limitations, right? Like this morning I got up really early to make a meat sauce for my kids for dinner because I'm not going to be home. I'm going to stay in the city a little bit and go out to eat somewhere fabulous, I hope. I hope you're listening, Svi Nachman. Actually, not today. And I wanted to try the meat sauce, but no way can I become Fleischig when I knew I was going to have Dunkin' Krispy Kreme that I got at Penn Station this morning. That was part of my eating plan today, was take the train in, go to Krispy Kreme and bring it down for the guys
Thank you for
here.
breakfast.
Yeah, no worries. You got food for us too, so we're very excited to move on to that in a little bit.
Right.
But, I couldn't eat my meat sauce. That's what I was going on about. Yeah, I couldn't, because I can only imagine you making this fabulous butter sauce and the pans
can't
aren't
taste
kosher. I mean, even if the ingredients were kosher, the pans aren't kosher. It must be so torturous for these. I've spoken to many chefs who have gone to culinary school,
Right.
20 years ago, before you guys were around. You're only around 7 years, but it was hard for them. And now you can do this. And I get calls from people all the time.
Yeah.
What should I do? I'm like, the answer is CKCA. It's not that hard.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We like to think the answer is
And
CKCA.
how can people find you? We're going to keep talking, but let's,
Well,
if you're tuning in now, we had CKCA Hour on the Nachman Siegel Network
Right.
here on Table for Two. And we're talking with a whole team of CKCA. We've got Jesse, and we've got the chefs, and we've got the graduates, and we're trying to, get a good feel for everybody. As much as I love CKCA, I want everybody to feel the love and take the classes and get in there and just, let's be better foodies. Everything's being elevated now, right?
it's true. There's a lot happening. Even in, 7 years ago when we started the transition, even on the one block that we're on, in terms of the quality and
In the hub of
the
Flatbush.
offerings.
He's in the hub of Flatbush, okay?
Yes.
Coney Island
Avenue
and
between J and K.
Yeah, right down the road from some fabulous eateries
And it's just amazing how many things have happened. But also, more so than that, and what drives the whole thing is it's driven by people's awareness. So I think people within the community, they just want more options. They want higher quality options. And when you come to expect it, when you come to demand it, it'll happen, because people need to make a living doing this. And if they're not going to make a living serving you the same old stuff, then they've got to make changes. And they've
Right.
got to educate themselves, or they've got
Make
to find
changes.
people who are educated.
right?
And that's what we do.
We're educated. It all begins with a good education.
We like to think so.
Okay, so let's speak to one of our educators himself. Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Chef
Naomi. Thanks for having us. in
Abram
here
Weissman.
today.
I'm actually friends with his sister, so big shout out to your...
Hey, does she know we're together today?
I know, I don't know.
Well, for all of you out there in the 5 towns, Naomi was nice enough to invite us over, and we're really enjoying noshing on her Krispy Kreme donuts.
Krispy Kreme donuts. But we've got some pickles going on. But let's talk before we eat these pickles that you made for us. Where did you get your culinary background from? Where did you go to school?
Good question. I started at a city school called New York City Tech, or New York City Hotel Restaurant Management School. It's part of the CUNY program, City University of New York. And I started there, and that's on J Street in Borough Hall in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough to be drafted, accepted, roped into a trip to Europe, where we had an arrangement with the Bournemouth College of Technology and Fine Arts in Bournemouth, England.
Oh, in England.
Yeah,
Okay.
and don't say anything about British food in the 70s, because there is some very good British food, but it doesn't always make the mainstream news. Or
Fish
the
and chips.
Yeah, well,
Yum,
they
yum.
sure do have a good hand with fish and chips. I can't make very good chips these days, Naomi.
Why?
Well, I went to England, and I'm a hell of a French fry cook, if that's all my claim to fame is.
Hot chips. We
Very
call them
much.
hot chips.
Yeah, we love it. They do a pretty good job with them in Israel, too.
Yeah. Oh, Machane Yehuda.
Yeah, indeed.
Next
indeed.
week, I'm going to be talking to Joel Haber, who does food tours of the Shook and fish and chips.
Okay. Last time I was on the Shook, I actually came upon the esrog man. There's someone who makes all these different products out of esrog, or citron juices, and he makes skin creams and all types of wrinkle removers, and he actually makes medicines from esrog stuff. That was my last trip to
Oh, that's
Montenegro.
cool.
But
Okay.
getting back to
Yeah,
education and getting
yeah.
back to how I started my career, I started in my late teens, early 20s, going to get an education, but in any culinary school or any type of hotel and restaurant school, anywhere in the food business, what you really learn are the techniques and the skills you need to learn. And then I believe that most of your education begins when you enter the industry, when you actually work hands-on in kitchens. It's great to be able to make a really nice dish in culinary school, but you really don't earn your stripes, as they say, until you make several hundred or several thousand of them, and every one of them turn out wonderful, delicious, and the way they were planned and intended. So just like we talk about when you go to yeshiva, you do not learn the entire shas in yeshiva, but you learn how to learn. So that
You learn how to learn.
you
That's
learn
such a
how to learn.
great analogy.
There we go. So that's what we do. Our biggest goal is not to teach every recipe, because that's obviously impossible in a 50 to 100-day period. However, we give you the techniques that
The
you
foundation.
can take your career to the next level, and that you will be able not only to follow recipes, but our goal is to have our students, our graduates, to be able to create their own dishes and to take kosher cuisine to the next level, as we see lots of chefs doing these days, as evidenced at the competition at Kosher Fest.
Yeah, that was
And,
amazing.
Yeah, that was a really fun
Judge, Naomi.
Yeah, I had a great time judging. I got to eat. It
you
was
got
so
to eat,
hard.
You got to eat rack of lamb this year, I
Rack
think,
of-
at Kosher Fest.
I got to
didn't
eat
you?
rack of lamb.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. Actually, I there's a video of it on YouTube. I just saw it.
Really?
Yeah, somebody made a YouTube highlight of that.
I think that was our best year.
It was unreal. You had Ita Werdiger Roth and
Mason and Mug, right?
Mason and Mug. Love her stuff. Obsessed with Mason and Mug.
David Bloom from Hartman's in Toronto.
Toronto. And
Great guy.
I cannot say his name. Katsuji Tanabe.
Tanabe.
Oh, I did
Right.
Yeah, Mexico, sure, in
Mex-
L.A.
I want to go to LA just to go eat there.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of really interesting things, and he was on Top Chef this season,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
representing
think
kosher.
Everyone does realize, and everyone sees the level of creativity and the level of expertise and finesse that all kosher restaurants are exhibiting these days. The bar has been raised in
Yay.
kosher cuisine, and I'm not going to take credit for it. And there's a lot of very sharp people in the industry who have brought lots of creativity, lots of new techniques. There is modernist cuisine going on.
What's that? Give me an example
Well,
of
I don't wanna
modernist cuisine.
describe- But I'd say Josh Mazin is doing quite a bit of that
Where
over
at?
at Nobo in, I believe that is Fort Lee.
We're actually doing a class with him.
Oh, nice.
Chef's Table, I
Yeah.
believe that.
It's a class called Chef's Table. It's a new concept we have where we get chefs like Josh who do really creative, really great work, and it's like being in the kitchen with him. So you're seated around where he's cooking at the school, and he's basically walking you through what he's doing with all of the different dishes, and we serve a tasting menu, some of his best stuff.
I would love to
It's going to be a good one.
come and do a class like that.
It's hopefully just the first installment.
Okay.
So we'll see. And maybe who knows, maybe we'll give something away later today.
Okay, stay tuned. This is Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Siegel Network. Our show is sponsored by Abels and Hyman. Okay,
So
let's continue this food talk.
Let's talk a little bit about kosher Aussie cuisine.
Kosher Aussie cuisine.
Have
All
you,
right.
have you put your stamp and your your influence on kosher Aussie cuisine?
Kosher Aussie cuisine, lamb chops, meat pies.
I guess that's
sausage
not bad.
rolls. Yeah, pavlova.
Oh, I love
That's
it.
typical Australian cuisine. So beer is in everything. Cooking with
Yes.
alcohol, yum. We all have our. My passion is just cooking anything and everything. So no real Aussie cuisine.
But getting back to the bar, and we know that everyone loves a drink now and then. Well, setting the bar as raising the bar in the world of kosher cuisine, and we're all aware. Anyone who eats at kosher restaurants knows that in the last 10 years, the bar has been raised on creativity.
Like crazy.
Well, things have come a long way from the days of Schmolke Bernstein. And,
right here on the Lower East Side.
Well, Schmolke Bernstein was, as a child, I'm showing my age here, that was about the only place to get kosher Chinese food in those days.
Really?
There were not too many choices back in the 1970s. So if you were kosher and you wanted the taste of Asia, there were not a whole lot of choices.
You lined up on Essex Street?
That was the place.
Wow.
That was the only place you would see Chinese waiters with yarmulkes speaking Hebrew or Chinese.
It's hilarious.
It was fun.
I remember my first few months in America was their last few months, so I did get to eat there. It was quite an experience.
Yeah, an experience and a time capsule.
Oh, yeah, it was great. I'm glad I got to be part of that, especially now as a foodie that I have that memory of eating there.
But these days, from East Coast to West Coast, we know that there are some very talented people who are either kosher or are making their living in
the kosher industry.
The kosher industry. Yeah. There's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is not only Jewish people who are eating kosher food these days. Many people who are following health plans and are just more aware of where their food is coming from, their raw products. There are many people who will only buy kosher chickens, even though they're not Jewish people, because people are aware of the way food is handled on the industrial level.
I see people buying glut kosher hot dogs at Costco who are not Jewish, because they know that, and it happens to be Abels and Hyman. Okay, I'm going to give them another shout out for our show because they're our sponsors. But I'm serious. Like I go to Costco twice a week. Love their stuff, as well as I do the rest of my shopping in Gourmet Glut. And I see people buying Abels and Hyman hot dogs because they know it's got good quality meat, and we don't put garbage in our food, and we hold ourselves to a
higher authority.
I know.
Yeah, that is a great commercial.
It's not not ours, but yeah.
Hey, we're not taking credit for it, but we can.
Give that
grab. We can grab a
absolutely. Arlette Losa is your community relations and PR manager, and she is so passionate about this school, and we're always in touch and talking, and we've wanted to do this for a long time. So it's really
I'm glad we did it.
Yeah,
on New Year's Eve day.
On New Year's Eve day, we need some cocktails. So let's talk about these pickles that we've got here. What have you got here?
Yeah, what did
I told them they're not allowed to come here without food because me and ZK like to eat. We've got donuts and pickles.
Hard bargain.
I know.
Admission fee to the studio
is pickles.
We'd love to have you here, but
of homemade pickles.
Bring us food.
Please bring food.
It's like we're hungry all the time. Yeah, we are hungry all the time. ZK's chuckling away.
Well, Naomi, what we have on the table here is these are some homemade preserves. Our expanded culinary class, which includes a class on charcuterie.
Charcuterie, right?
Technically, charcuterie, if I can curse here, well, it actually means the art of the pig. And believe it or not, we don't use pigs in CKCA, but what we do is we learn how to preserve meats, and that's what we've taken from this. Besides meats, we've learned how people have preserved food before refrigeration, before freezing. And we're talking about brining, we're talking about smoking, we're talking about pickling, we're talking about vacuum packing. And on the table here, we have a couple savory tastes. I don't really know if it's appropriate for breakfast, but
we can eat pickles anytime. This is the Lower East Side, home of the original kosher pickle.
First of all, it's home of the Lower East Side, and second of all, you can never tell someone from either Long Island, whether it's Five Towns or East. It's always a good time for something savory, isn't it?
Absolutely. Wow. There's always a good time to eat. There's never a bad.
Do you want to taste?
Yeah.
Too early,
I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm going to eat.
I want you to start Naomi up with a little bit of these are two of our young ladies from the current class, Julia and Bracha, made these Mediterranean-style pickled mushrooms, and these have been put in a jar about 3 months ago, believe it or not, and they haven't been refrigerated. So we're going to
sealed.
Am I going to die?
We're going to find out. Sealed. We're going to let Naomi taste the mushrooms
if
first.
I keel over in the middle of the show, you know what happened to me.
No, it's obvious that they seal well because these are put in ball jars, and if it forms a good vacuum, the cover of the jar shows you there's a vacuum intact. and then we know they're safe.
And they are safe.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We made sure that we wanted to be invited
Lindsay
back
K cannot
here.
pass out in the middle of the show.
It wouldn't be good for our reputation if we killed the show host.
Yeah,
on
no,
the air.
not good at all. So it's really a fun thing to do to for the people that are we have two kind of audiences here a little bit. We've got our listeners and we have some of our viewers that watch us on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to just describe to the listeners who are not watching what's actually happening. So Chef brought down 3 kinds of pickles. And we've put them into little containers. And I'm going to try some. We're going to pass it around the room and everyone's going to have a little nibble. So I'm just going to pick. So which one am I trying first?
Try the mushrooms.
The mushrooms. What's that one?
I'm insisting because it's the least vinegary.
Least vinegary.
I didn't want you to get anything too...
What's that?
That is
the ring.
It's
the
from
seal.
jar.
Too acidic.
I happen to love mushrooms. Is this a thing? Okay. I happen to love mushrooms. I'm going to take a little bowl. Okay, and I'm taking some mushrooms out. It's okay. I don't know how. Do you have? Oh, you have a bowl. Okay. I'm going to take a clean fork. I think the bracha mushrooms is shehakol baruch atah Adonai melech haolam shakoni v'ro. Oh my God, it's so good. Can you hear me too?
How's that?
Oh my God. Number one, I love pickled mushrooms.
Yeah, and these can be done with any type of mushrooms.
Yeah. So what mushrooms is this?
These are standard domestic mushrooms from Pennsylvania. These can be done with shiitakes or portobellos.
So this is like a white mushroom, a white button?
Yeah, it's a white button.
Domestic mushrooms, what they call.
And what's the brown one called?
Cremini.
Cremini?
Yeah.
Is that like a baby Bella? Because
very similar.
Very similar.
Yeah, there are so many mushrooms and so many funguses.
I love mushrooms.
Yes, so do I. And the part I love about them is that you don't need a hashgacha for them. We could just go over the fairway and you could pick up anything from morels to chanterelles to the really gorgeous ones. I recently saw something called lobster mushrooms.
A lobster mushroom?
Yeah, they were bright red and they were fresh right out of the ground. So again, fresh fruits and vegetables.
Is a truffle that's in the mushroom family, right?
It is technically. It's also a fungi, but it technically isn't a mushroom.
No, it's not.
Okay, we don't get those kosher so much.
Actually,
I mean they're kosher, but we can't get them.
Actually, I was amazed that right down the block from the school, we are fortunate enough to be in the same neighborhood as
the pickle guys. Is that what you're going to say?
No, but you're close. It also begins with a P, pomegranate. And recently, while I was looking in their showcases, they have featured fresh truffles.
Fresh truffles.
I was so surprised. I said, well, wait a second. After I saw fresh truffles in a supermarket in Brooklyn, I said to myself, I'll bet they're going to be throwing leftover truffles in the chillin this Thursday.
Oh, God.
No one would buy them. But guess what? About 2 hours later, they were sold out.
They were sold out.
Yeah, I was shocked.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that shows you that the level of sophistication in kosher cuisine, the bar has been raised so high, the level of education in our standard. There is no such thing as a standard housewife. I mean, our graduates who I'm sitting right next to someone who I don't know if I would call her a housewife.
No, she's too fab for that.
Yeah, we got Deanie of Deanie Delivers, and Deanie
we're gonna talk
was
to
one of
Deanie.
my students. And again, the
try this.
bar has
Try that
been
one.
raised for a level of sophistication in knowledge, in finesse, in flavor profiles in food, and of course, last but definitely not least, levels of presentation of what's going on in the kosher food industry. The barriers have been broken, smashed. The bar has been raised, and some of the foods being served in glatt kosher restaurants these days.
Are all coming from you guys?
Well, it's certainly not. We
More and
can't
more.
take credit
right,
for it all.
Mechi? Right?
But we can take a little credit because also to my left, besides Deanie, we have Mechi Kornfeld, and I'm really proud that both of these folks sitting next to me are making some money. They're paying some bills from the food business, from the kosher food business.
He's rolling his eyes.
And I have, and Jesse has something to do with this. I can't take full credit because Deanie is really extremely sophisticated. And before she came to us, she had a very good working knowledge of flavor profiles.
I just learned that term,
presentation.
flavor profile.
Yeah, well, that's a major That's a major concept that we teach in the school. Not just a flavor, but building flavor profiles through various herbs, various seasonings. And we talk about spices, seasoning, herbs, and they aren't all the same. And the principles of reduction and all the different techniques used to build flavors.
How do you like that one?
That was really spicy.
Oh, you must have had a pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a pickled pepper. I don't know.
Was it this
A
one?
pickled cucumber was hot. It's I just don't want to take away from your last comment because that was just you said it really well. You're really proud of what you've accomplished.
I am. I'm like Papa at the school. I shop some nachas
It's
every
really
time.
nice.
Anytime one of the graduates gets either another job, a better job, gets a raise, moves on to another level, starts their own business, or gets their own interview on television, gets a blurb in the newspaper.
Or comes on Table for Two.
Yeah, any of this, when I see any of our students being successful with some of the techniques and skills that they've acquired at the school or just perfected,
Thank
improved. Yeah, these are all good things. And we're small enough to be one big happy family.
I
So,
see that. I
yeah,
see that.
yeah,
I mean,
we're real
being
close.
friends with Arlette, she's always been giving shout outs to all the graduates, and even like she includes me, and I haven't I taught a class, but I haven't.
You did.
I don't know if I've even taken a class because I've been.
You're busy.
I've been an instructor. And so I took a lot of my cooking courses before, and I'm like dying to come back. And we've spoken before maybe
Yeah.
about doing an intermediate class where you're not
Right.
not a basics, but the next level up.
Yeah.
Graduate, like a master's program.
Yeah,
The next level, you got your
Masters in
BA.
Culinary Arts.
Yeah.
And then we'll go for a PhD.
Yeah,
after
that sounds great. But I can imagine, like, I was a teacher in preschool once, and when I see my kids that I taught when they were little and they're all grown up,
It's nice to see.
it's nice to see.
It's really
So
nice to
it's
see.
kind of like that. You're already grown up, but you've gone through your infancy stage of being the young chef and learning techniques. Even you come in with something solid, and now you guys have just pushed through onto the next level. And I see Mummy and Daddy are just so proud. Daddy. No one's the mummy, but I'm
Yeah,
using the
two
term
dads,
Mummy and
two
Daddy. The
dads, yeah.
parents. The parents. The parents.
We've passed the ball off them.
Onto the next generation. So let's talk for a couple of minutes. By the way, I just got to talk about the pickles. They were fabulous.
Thank you.
I ate the pickled veggies, which I love. That was
I think
that's the best.
Jardinera.
Here.
Can I just say that
actually
was
wanted you to
not
see-
normal? Can I hold that up to the camera?
I wanted you
It's
to
in a
see
mason jar.
down in the bottom there are cipollini onions, and I think that's the best part of that.
Oh, I'm grabbing that.
I think you-
I started putting these on my barbecue in the summertime.
Oh, goodness,
Sick,
that's so wonderful.
sick, amazing. I'm going to
Yeah.
grab that.
I want you to go dig down to the bottom of our mason jar, a ball jar,
This
and go
was a
for that
clean.
cipollini onion.
I want that cipollini onion.
Yeah, I think anyone who has really loves mushrooms would definitely love
Oh
that.
yeah,
guy,
I'm gonna dig that out.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to do it after the show.
I think you need a shovel. I don't think
I
that
think I
plastic
need a
fork's
shovel.
gonna
Oh,
do
it's
it.
coming up. It's coming up.
yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm a determined foodie here. Okay, so I've grabbed this
Oh,
cipollini.
she
Look
got
at
it.
that. I'm just going to
Hey,
hold it up
that's-
to the camera. Can you just describe to our listeners what a cipollini
Yeah, a cipollini onion is a
onion
variety.
is? And then we're going to move on to our graduates.
Sure. These cipollini onions are very small. They're flat. They almost look as if
Gonna
someone
hold it up.
stepped on them. They're actually a little bit of a pain to peel.
Yeah, they're a bit
Yeah.
annoying.
So we recommend when you're working with cipollinis to actually toss them into some boiling water for a few seconds, and then the peels come off much easier.
Is that a rule with any onion?
Yeah, but you lose a lot of the flavor if you're going to boil an onion. So with large Spanish onions, we don't recommend it. But with smaller onions, what we call a pearl onion or a white boiler onion, which are frequently mistaken for pearl onions, or cipollinis, if you have to do more than 2 or 3, and especially someone working in the catering business or restaurant business,
Throw it in some boiling water for a second?
a quick blanch with the peels on them kind of forces them to give up the peels easy and really makes that task.
I love that
so
cooking
wow.
tip. I love that cooking tip. That
How
was
was that,
brilliant.
by the
That
way?
was outrageous.
Nice.
Oh my God, outrageous.
That's my favorite
balance
one, too.
between sweet and vinegar.
Yeah, it was. Fantastic. I really got into pickled onions lately. I just started putting it in all our sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
I got the recipe from Melinda Strauss.
I think those Cipollini onions are one of the best things in the summertime on the barbecue.
Oh, my
if
God.
you grill them, with either with a marinade and seasoning or just by themselves with the sugars caramelized, they're just delicious.
Oh, love it, love
I
it.
can make an appetizer or a main course out of those.
Just the onions.
That's it.
I love it. Deanie, hello, how are you?
Hello, Naomi.
How's it
Great.
going?
Sorry, I'm getting over a little cold here.
I know,
Sorry,
it's
my voice.
unfortunately it's
That
the
time of year.
season. Is she all mic'd up? Does she sound okay? Just move maybe a little bit closer.
Got it.
So we have two ladies in the studio. One has a tickle in her throat. One has a pickle in the throat.
That's funny. So Deanie and I met at Kosher Fest a couple months
Yes,
back.
that was fun.
And I have been following you closely ever since. What you are up to is unreal. So let's just talk a little bit about your
you.
background. You went to CKCA and then
Yes. So I
tell
went
me
to
what
CKCA,
was next.
and honestly, it was the best thing because it really jump-started my entire career in the kosher food industry. So I got my training at CKCA. I took their summer program. It was in 2011. I
Okay.
think. It's crazy how long it's been. Wow.
Yeah. It went fast.
Yeah, time's flown.
Time flew, didn't it?
God almighty.
It was a great class. It was a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
that was awesome. Chef Wiseman was my chef. We had an awesome time.
And you had a nice group.
We had a great group.
Do you still stay in
It was
touch
fun.
with any
I
of the
am in
graduates?
touch. I'm in touch on Facebook. I see what everyone's up to every
That's
so
nice.
often.
Thank God
yeah.
for social media.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're kind of all still a little connected.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of a big happy family,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it really is.
The
It's so
CKCA
nice.
family.
Yeah, because you spend every day with these people, and it's, I think, how long? It's 3 hours a day? 4 hours
4
a day?
hours.
4
a
hours,
day.
yeah.
It
Wow.
seems like
See,
2,
that's a good
but
class.
Yeah.
it is
That was
4
summer
hours
class.
and it flies.
Yep, exactly. And because you're in this one room with so few people, you really get to know them, and everyone's personalities come out, and you really create a little family. It's fun.
I love that. That's so,
So,
cute. Okay, so
yeah.
we
went to
we gotta give
CKCA.
everyone all their time.
Yeah, so I went to CKCA, and then I did their externship, which they set me up with at the Prime Grill. So I worked at the Prime Grill for
So
6
you also
months.
do internships.
So yeah, so
Ah.
they hooked the whole thing up.
Loving that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
which-
where were you at the Prime Grill?
Prime
Prime Grill,
In,
New York City,
in Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Which
Yep.
with David Clocken?
Yes, yeah.
David Collette.
My
So-
favorite.
He's amazing.
He's
Yep.
just
Isn't he great?
a doll. And whenever I took one class at Macy's when
Oh, Degustibus.
Degustibus.
Oh, yes.
And I told him I was there one time, and I was with my aunt and uncle from Australia.
Yeah.
Big shout out to my aunt Kathy and Uncle Maya and Kathy Steen of Sydney, Australia. And we took them there, and I told the chef I was there, and he sent out like 6 things as a present.
Oh, he's a
so
sweetheart.
nice.
He
What
is
a
wonderful.
mensch,
He's so
mensch,
not what I
mensch.
expected from a restaurant chef. I was putting like intense, and you got to do this, got to do that. He's a sweetheart,
wonderful.
heart of gold,
And a pro.
He's,
Yeah,
he's,
and
so,
he's
he's
amazing
so
at his
creative.
job.
I love the
Oh, yeah.
Very creative.
Yep, and he
Very-
kept me on my toes. He would
Yeah.
challenge me every day if there was a little bit of time off. He'd be like, "Here, make a fish fumet."
Yeah, he
Like,
could,
okay,
What's that? What's
he
that?
could be, he
Sorry,
could be
hello?
tough.
Yeah, a
Hello,
fish.
I don't know what
He
that
He
fish
could
is.
be
fumet,
tough,
a
but
fish
he's such a
stock.
nice man.
A fumet.
Yeah,
Let's-
fish fumet. A
Fumet
fish-
is a what?
a fish stock.
A
I
fish
guess. So
stock.
he was like, "Here, make a fish stock." I'm like, "I've never done that before."
And
He's
so
like,
you
"Figure
took
it out,
some bones
learn."
and
Took
veggies
some
and-
bones. I made it happen, and then he would taste it, correct it, and would do it again. I also tested some recipes for his cookbook. I made some knishes for him.
That's
so,
really
it's
nice,
fun. He
Deanie.
always gave me something new and interesting to do. So I got great training there.
And then?
Even before the CKCA, I started a food blog.
What's it called?
Deanie Delivers.
Okay.
So DeanieDelivers.com. I started a little food blog.
That was before you were a mom.
Before I was a mom, yeah. This was long ago. This was
Yeah?
yeah,
Okay.
back in like 2010 I started it. I got really interested in food, went to the CKCA, and then after the internship was when I continued my food blog and started a business. Everyone was like, "You really need to start selling the food that you're posting on your blog." Like I would buy this for Shabbos, I would buy this for weekdays. So yeah, so I started personal chef business. And thank God it's been great. And my absolute first client was referred to me through the CKCA. Someone called in asking for a personal chef, and they lived in the Upper West Side, which is where I was living at the time.
Beautiful.
So it was just a match made in heaven, and I've been working for them for the past 3 years,
Nice.
every week. So it's also like a little family because I work with them every single week. I really know them. I know their diets. It's great.
Well, doesn't Deanie Delivers offer a couple different services?
So it's it's customized food. So everything I do is completely customized, whether you want Shabbos and weekday meals, all customized.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's
And I see that you've been doing a lot of videos.
Yeah,
Which
so
I think is really nice because we've got a lot of, people out there on Instagram and Facebook and all that, but you've actually brought it to living action.
Yeah, so I love showing people how to cook because people think something is very intimidating or it looks, too difficult to make. But I love breaking it down, making it raw, showing how to take beautiful ingredients and make a meal out of it, creating something out of nothing. So I started my YouTube channel, which is Dini Delivers. And yeah, I do different segments of different dishes that you can make for dinners, for breakfast, and pretty much what I do in my everyday life.
Where are you doing? Where's your studio?
My home.
That is so cute. So you get a camera crew in there and you film
I'm working
and
with
edit.
a production company right now, and they come in once a month, I would say. We film a bunch of videos, and people send in requests. I want some more breakfast ideas. I would love dinner ideas. Maybe do a poached egg tutorial. So people have been amazing. I've been getting great feedback.
You did one at Prime Grill. Did I see one?
Prime Grill.
Or you did some.
On
I saw you
something on
butcher
meats.
something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody
yes.
was talking about
Yes.
that, right?
So I went back into Prime Grill because I used to butcher when I was a Prime Grill. I really spent time in every area there. I spent time in the sushi station. I spent time butchering. I spent time on the line. So I went back.
What do you mean by the line? See, people, right? Good, great question. I like that. Okay. What do you mean about the line? Because we hear about this, and you can pipe up if you need to also. We hear about these kind of terms, I've never really worked in a restaurant. Work in a line. Can you give me and my listeners a rundown on what a line is in a restaurant?
It's intense. The orders are coming in. It's busy. It's like rush, rush, rush. It's insane. And you need to create these dishes and just bang them out because people are hungry. People are ordering. And there's the grill guy back there. There's the salad guy.
Or girl.
Well, here it happened to have been all guys, and this guy Jose was on the grill. It was awesome. And then there was me, who was like kind of running all in between everybody and trying to get as much knowledge as I can.
I'd love to get a breakdown of actually behind the scenes of a restaurant.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll have to do a show just dedicated to that because I'm actually fascinated now. You've
It
opened
really
up
is. Yeah, so it's fun. It's an experience.
Very
and I would have
intense,
to plate
isn't
the
it,
dish.
Dini?
It's so intense. And every dish needs to come out beautiful and perfect every single time. Like Chef Wiseman was saying, once you've done the same dish 100 times or so, that's when you can be called a chef.
Right.
Or you can technically
You're only
call
as
yourself-
good as your worst meal,
Exactly.
not your best.
Really? Is that
That's how
really a
they
line?
judge-
Is that a
That's
line?
right. That's how we judge. That's how chefs are judged. You're only as good as your worst meal you ever put out.
Really? Mechi, how do you feel about that line?
You agree,
we work in the
Matthew, or
restaurant.
you disagree?
So, Mechi,
I agree.
thank you, Dini. And Dini, I'm going to have you back, man. 'Cause
Yeah,
we have
I'd love
so much to
to.
talk
Thanks for
about.
having
Two
me.
personal chefs yapping
Yes,
away
seriously,
about
I would
food.
love to hear about what you've been doing and
Yeah.
how you got started. It's a fun industry. That's
It's
for
a fun
sure.
industry. And, when I first started, there was just like me and a few others.
Wow.
Susie was already out there.
Lavana Kirschman was always on the.
Leo Lavana was always out there.
She's a pioneer.
She is a pioneer, a bit of the modern, new wave. You guys.
Definitely.
It's just unbelievable. Thank you for coming in, and we're going to have a
Thank you
nice
so
little
much.
chat. And,
Love it.
when we're planning the show, Arlette and I back and forth, and then Jesse, and then we said, I'd like a well-rounded show. I want Jesse. I want a chef. I didn't know who was available. That was going to be up to you.
Right.
And I said, and 2 days ago, I said, I want graduates. That's really rounds it out. So we have Dini, who's a personal chef and his videos and a blog. And we have Mechi over here, who's a chef in a restaurant. We got him? We're good on the I just want to make sure that you're all on the camera as well.
Hello.
And we have sound for him. Excellent. ZK's the best engineer. He keeps the show running and
Like
keeps
that.
us moving. Lets me know how long. We've got pretty much a good 12 minutes left to schmooze.
We got to get some Mechi.
We got to get some Mechi on,
Yep.
but I just want to do a station ID. You are listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Siegel Network, heard on Arutz Sheva English Radio. Our show is sponsored by Abels and Hyman. We taste better. I'm sitting here with a CKCA team joining me today on New Year's Eve. And you are listening to this show, Erev Shabbat. And it's been an exciting hour. We have learned so much about food and behind the scenes and what's coming up for CKCA and how you too can go to CKCA. And Jesse has a
Yes.
giveaway for us.
Well, we're going to give away a free class, aren't we?
A free class.
Yeah.
That's great.
A
But you have to
recreational
join.
class.
You have to join the social media platforms.
Well, of course. There's got to be a catch now.
Of course. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
We're Kosher Culinary is our handle. Our group is Kosher Culinary Arts on Facebook. Kosher Culinary on Twitter. Check us out. We've got lots of great pictures. You can see what you can do at the school.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Jesse. So I'm
Yeah.
waiting for all those emails to come in, and we will announce it in about probably maybe the end of January. We're going to announce the winner. So you've got a full month to join
Yeah.
all
Check
the
it out.
CKCA stuff, and I'm going to keep mentioning it every week and help your social media
Thank
grow
you.
too.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Quick What's for Dinner segment, sponsored by our friends at Gourmet Glatt. Out there in Cedarhurst. I cannot do a show without having a quick recipe that we put together. I was at spin class the other day and somebody said to me, I need a soup. Give me the fastest soup you can give me right before spin class at Studio Ina was about to start. I told her, this is my favourite, easiest soup. Saute an onion, a nice big fat Spanish onion. We've learned.
That could be.
Yeah. And then I throw in some cremini mushrooms, about 3 cups worth. 5 zucchinis. I fill the water after the onions have sauteed. I throw in the mushrooms, chopped up chunks of zucchini, water up until the top of the vegetable line, not so much water because that way it gets very thin. Mm-hmm. Throw in some salt, cover it, boil it till it's soft, and then azhuzh it. It is the most amazing soup. It's fat-free and it's creamy without having any. The zucchinis make it creamy.
And what would we call that soup?
I call it zucchini mushroom soup.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really easy. Sounds puree zucchini mushroom soup, and it's fat-free, and it's really easy to digest, and there's no flour in it, it's gluten-free, it's vegan, all that good stuff. So that was our What's for Dinner segment, sponsored by our friends at Gourmet Glatt.
Thank you, Gourmet Glatt.
Yeah, we love you, Gourmet Glatt, right?
We do.
Nechi, hi. Welcome.
Hello. We actually, at the last minute stuff, we go to Gourmet Glatt to pick up some stuff. at
Isn't
the
it
restaurant.
fantastic?
Love it.
Where do
Okay.
you work?
In the Loft Steakhouse, it's on 13th and 40th, so we have a Gourmet Glatt right across the
Right,
street.
right near you, exactly. Now tell me,
What part of Brooklyn is that?
it's
It's in Borough Park.
Borough Park,
Yeah.
right? The heart of Borough Park,
heart
right?
of Borough
The heart of
Park.
Borough Park. Now tell me, you finished culinary school in what year?
I finished, it was the last year's,
This year.
this year.
Spring of
So
2014.
you must be super talented to get into the loft, like right away.
I'm super lucky. I'll tell you.
No,
I
bet you're super talented.
He's got a lot of passion.
He's being modest.
He's got a lot of passion. He's got a
Are we
great eye.
embarrassing you?
No, I'm just saying lucky
We love
because
Mechi.
I'm saying the word lucky because I went to eat at the Loft. I did not go for an interview. I went to eat with a friend, which happened to know the owner at the time, the manager, and right we finished dinner. We said, "Hey, let's go down and talk to the guy." We went down and I told him I'm finishing school, and he says, "You looking for a job?" So I said, "Maybe," and he says, "Come in when you finish." And I finished school, and I called him up. He says, "Come in." And the next thing I know, I got the job.
Okay, what's your specialty? What do you do there? Are you on the line?
Yes,
Is that-
I work the line.
Oh, see, I'm learning.
I work
Okay.
the line. I'm doing, it's the salad station, the cold appetizers, some main dishes. I got a duck for a main dish, one of the main dishes I do.
It's your creation? The duck?
No. There's great Chef Boris, and the sous chef, Aviva Emanuel. They do a beautiful job, and I take that and I follow their guidelines, but I gotta do it.
Right.
And
I
gotta
love
do
it.
Yeah. I got the job there, and that's what I do all day from 12 to 12.
He's going into work as soon as we're
Yes,
done here.
All right,
I'm
yeah.
leaving here and I'm
Today-
going right to
Today's
work.
a really busy
A
day
really
for
busy
you. I
one.
can imagine being New Year's
Yeah.
Eve, and everyone's going out to eat in Borough Park and New
you
York
wouldn't believe
City.
Hey, Mechi,
Well.
do you still love cooking?
Yes, I do.
You know what? People ask me that.
You got burns?
um,
See the hands.
no, actually, I'm pretty good right now.
Salad station. If you get burned on salad, you're
No,
in trouble.
He doesn't belong in the kitchen if he gets
we got-
burnt on salad.
I got a couple of sauté dishes. I mean, the sweetbreads has the
I don't know how to make
appetizers.
sweetbreads. Do you know, Deanie? Do you do sweetbreads?
I dabbled like once or twice.
I have to learn that.
Yeah, my clients are mostly like very health conscious. It's a lot of fresh fruit, vegetables, healthy whole grains. So I don't do too many exotic tons.
No animal glands.
Yeah, nothing
Wait,
like
can
Actually,
I ask you,
my-
what is sweetbreads? Put that to rest. People think it's
Thymus.
all kinds of different. I've heard it's brains. I've heard it's pancreas.
No,
What is
no,
it?
no.
Thymus
Thymus glands.
Thymus glands.
Look what we've learned.
Thymus
from
glands is
Woo.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. What is that's in the neck?
Exactly.
The
What
The
is
neck
that?
of the cow.
That's what's
It is
Actually, the neck of a calf.
A calf. A calf.
The calf.
A calf. I sound like a New Yorker now. The neck of a calf.
Well, I'll
is
be
the-
Australian. It's a cough.
A calf. Yeah.
Actually,
Getting better.
sweetbreads and tongues are one of the two dishes that I make the most every day. It's around 30 to 40 dishes or 50 sometimes.
Is it a
Of
top
tongue?
seller?
No, the top seller would be like a duck gnocchi or a crispy
That sounds
beef.
good.
Don't say it. Don't duck gnocchi and crispy beef. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Let's
Yes.
get to
I'm
the law.
coming. I'm
You
warning
should
you,
all
love.
definitely-
I'm coming.
Lunch at the loft.
You should
Deanie,
definitely
let's go
come
together.
by
getting
to the
hungry.
loft. We
Oh
open
my
at 5:30 to 10:30 every
Wait.
night.
No lunch?
No lunch.
What
not
is
yet.
restaurants not open for lunch?
We actually have my chefs were talking about lunch and starting the program, but lately, this place got flooded at night. I mean,
Baruch
we're going
Hashem.
from 2 months ago doing 70 covers was a busy night. We're doing 250 covers.
Covers, what do you mean by covers?
By
You know,
people.
pretend we don't know what's going on in the kitchen.
Meals.
Meals.
Is
yeah.
called a cover.
Yeah.
Is that from start to finish?
Yeah.
Like the soup, the
And-
appetizer,
and-
or the
Yes, that's
per person?
per person is a cover.
So if I go to a restaurant, I order fish and a chicken appetizer, main course, and dessert.
dessert.
Just me, my three things is called a cover.
yeah,
Correct.
you're-
Or if you just come in for a salad and a hamburger,
Still a
that's also
cover.
a cover.
Okay, good to know.
It could
That's
be
why we're
one
here to
course
learn.
or 5.
I'm more like the 5 course. Okay, great.
But you do spin.
I do spin like
That's how you could do the 5 courses.
like twice a month. You know, don't think I go every week. I wish I had the time because I'm busy cooking.
The network doesn't give you a budget for eating out?
And what?
A budget for eating out? The
Yeah.
network?
Yeah, the network. Right? Yeah, I love to eat out. That's my favorite thing. People say to me, do you like to eat out? Do you like to cook? I said, I like everything. Don't you hear the beginning of my show? I love everything about food. I love the cooking, but I also like having someone cook for me, and I really appreciate the different flavors. What's your favorite spice? I'm going to go round the table here. It's my new thing. I'm going to ask everybody favorite spice.
no, that's pretty difficult because I'm good with everything really right now. My favorite spice would probably be garlic powder.
Garlic powder?
Garlic.
Oh my.
Garlic powder?
I mean,
I love garlic too. Don't get me
garlic powder, garlic, fresh garlic, sautéed garlic.
wrong. Okay.
Garlic
Good one.
is one of my favorite
I'm
things
smelling
right
lots of
now.
garlic
I put
here
it
from
in
the
everything.
pickles. Okay, Deanie?
I think crushed chili.
Crushed
flakes.
chili flakes?
I like
Chef?
to spice it up.
That's a tough one. I would say if I had to pick one flavor
One
profile or one spice,
Spice.
marjoram. Not margarine,
I
marjoram.
know what you meant.
I think it just goes great with lamb, and lamb's one of my favorite proteins. Something that you from Australia might know a bit about.
Chef, I just brought back, I was in Australia twice this year. My dad was sick and I went to visit him, but thank God he's okay. And I brought back a suitcase full of lamb. In my Australian lamb tastes better than American lamb because it's all grass fed. It was in my freezer.
I disagree with you. We're gonna get into a
We're
big-
gonna have a chat
this
about
is gonna
this.
be a
Don't leave
blowout
after
fight
this.
here.
I left my freezer door open by accident. But everything defrosted. We ate so much lamb over Shabbos. I think I
boy.
need a cholesterol check. Okay, Chef Jesse.
Jesse, I think mine, I would say smoked paprika.
Smoked.
Smoked
I
paprika,
got
not
into that
red
recently
stuff.
also.
That's nice.
That's a great
Excellent.
spice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
What?
Whenever I use it, I'm like, it smells like hot dogs in here. 'cause
It smells like-
Right.
It just can give a smoked taste to anything.
Yep.
You can put it on your breakfast cereal if you like.
Oh, that's nice. Smoky
But you-
frosted
you-
flakes.
Seems like you do have you like to lean towards smoked spices because I remember I saw that smoked salts you brought. in.
Smoked salts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those.
That's cool.
Flavored
Yeah.
salts.
I
now
just
that
was
are
in
very,
Hawaii and I brought back 6 different kinds of salts.
did they come in test tubes, Naomi?
All kinds. I bought in
well,
test
they're
tubes.
very
and-
in fashion now.
Yeah.
All the salt and Himalayan salt,
Himala-
smoked salt.
hello,
sea
Himalayan
salt.
salt.
I thought I saw
Hey,
that.
look
This is
at that.
Miriam Wallach's salts.
How
She
about
keeps
that?
it such a.
Right
we're
here.
big salt people here on the Nachman
See,
Siegel
so
Network.
you know I'm telling the truth if
Okay,
it's right
wow.
on your desk.
We are wrapping up into our last minute and a half. Doesn't the hour fly?
It
Or
does.
normal?
I have a gift for you. I want to
For
give
me?
it to you. Yeah.
Oh, I love presents.
And
Besides,
it goes with your outfit.
oh,
It's very chic. It's black.
oh,
It's,
Black on black.
it's an
chic.
apron with the CKCA logo.
Oh my God!
Look at that.
Thank you.
There we go.
I'm gonna put it on for
Put
the
it
last
on. Do it.
round out. Mary, thank you so much.
Hey.
Thank you
I
for
want
having
to
me.
talk to you more as well, especially about the loft because it's really hot
Yes.
news out there. I'm seeing a lot a lot of it on Facebook.
Yeah, they're
people
doing
commenting
a great job over at the loft.
on all the foodie groups. I'm really hearing a lot about it. I'd like to continue our conversation. This was the CKCA Hour.
Kosher
Got that out.
Culinary Arts.
We have the giveaway. Thank you to Jesse
pleasure.
for doing that for us. If you want to give away a free recreational cooking class, all you have to do is join one of the social media platforms and we will check that you are on it. So send me an email, naomi@nachamsiegel.com, that you want to win this free class and let me know what social media platform you signed up for. And we're really excited to have you guys down here finally.
Thanks
a whole
for having
team of
us.
you today. DeenieDelivers.com, Mechi's at the Loft, CKCA.com.
KosherCulinaryArts.com.
KosherCulinaryArts.com. And yeah, it's been a great show. Our show is sponsored by Abels and Hyman. We taste better. Everyone stay listening. We have music right up until candle lighting. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And
Shabbat
I hope
Shalom.
everyone's going to have a great, fabulous 2015. Take care, everyone. Happy cooking!